It's been at least a week since I checked in on the BBC, so I wonder if they've done anything new in that time. Oh well, now this is getting ridiculous. I wonder how soon into this video they bring up the offside rule.
Do you know the offside rule?
Why does this not surprise me?
This is like
classic.
Seriously, I've been playing football for like 20 years.
And I've literally sat there and explained it, and they're like, oh, you do know it.
Yeah, when you get the salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Ketchup and the mayo.
It's not rocket science.
I have a strange feeling no one's going to answer the question of what the offside rule is. Merely stating you know it isn't enough for someone like me, a skeptic clone. Instead, you're going to look to shame people or talk about competitiveness and blah blah whatever.
And you know, they go, oh, who won the last World Cup? Or, you know, who won the Premier League?
It starts a whole like quiz. It's just on the assumption that they have superior football intellect because they are male, because they have a dick.
Yes, we get it. Men are competitive by nature and want to outdo one another, including women when encroaching on something that is somewhat male-dominated. Now, is anyone going to explain the offside rule or not? I'm talking to myself, aren't I? So I'll just do it for myself, shall I? So in football there are two teams. The football field is divided into two halves. When the attacking team plays the ball in the opponent's half, and the receiver of that ball is behind the entire defensive line, including midfielders and attackers, but not the goalkeeper, they are offside. It's why in football you'll quite often see some more tactical offside plays, where the defensive team during a free kick will run forward the moment the free kick is being taken to force the attacking team to be offside when the ball is played. It's a way of negating the free kick's effects. Wow, BBC Three's creative team must have really dug in deep to come up with this one.
Do you cry when you lose? Yes, of course I do. I cry when we win.
It's passion.
Yeah. So do you. So does the guys.
Just another way to say that we're fragile. We're not fragile.
It's not beneficial for the men either, because that, you know, assumes that they can't show any vulnerability or, you know.
It's good for men and women to cry.
Cristiano Ronaldo, and he scored a free kick against Portsmouth in January 2008, and I'm a United fan, but that goal brought a tear to my eye.
Well, I think you've all managed to cover team spirit successfully, and the competitive nature from team spirit, but not one of you has yet to explain to me how this is something you're not supposed to say to a female football player. Hell, I can't even imagine something I wouldn't say to a male football player, let alone a female one. Sigh.
You're well fit.
Thanks. Generally, if you are a female in a football space, you're immediately rated on how attractive you are.
Best legs, best tits, best ass, you know.
Not really looking at like the talent. Like,
some of my players get sexually harassed by people in the park.
Men get judged on how good
their abilities.
It's either, oh, look at all those girls, they're well fit, or look at all the lesbians playing football.
Most of what I heard there was gibberish, but I did notice the part about men mostly get judged on their skill. That is true, but it has been proven that men are judged just as much on their appearance as they are on their skill. Maybe not comparable to women, of course not. You're under a different scrutiny lens, if that's even a thing. But I don't see this as something that someone shouldn't say to you.
I can't remember the last time anyone's ever said to me personally,
what's your record?
Yeah. Or like how many minutes you've played or anything.
It's true, sad truth.
Have you considered that what you do for a living just doesn't interest people within the circle or friends that you maintain? And let's not forget, yes, female football at this moment in time is still growing. There is less interest in your sport at this present time, but I do hope in the future that changes, as there is far less diving, I've noticed anyway, in women's football. So this one off the bat raises alarm bells. Women's football is boring. It may be to some. Why is this something that shouldn't be said to female football players? Are we trying to positively reinforce everything at all times? Give out that encouragement? If the match is boring, it's boring. Okay, this comment is all women's football potentially could be perceived that way, but sometimes football is very boring.
Number one, have you actually watched women's football?
On multiple occasions, yes I have.
It might be kind of different to the guys' game.
We're only, what, 3 or 4 years into women's football being full-time.
exactly the point. It is a fledgling thing. It is growing. It got a lot of publicity with the recent World Cup, and rightly so. At this moment in time, it's dominated a little by Arsenal. I wouldn't mind a few more teams coming up and challenging a bit more consistently, but it is doing well. I've watched enough to know that there is some real potential. Some will argue about competitiveness, how competitive the matches are, and as you again stated, it is a little different. Again though, how is this something you shouldn't say? I'm going to keep saying this. At no point have any of you addressed it. You've just skirted the comment, or maybe just got a little triggered. What are we trying to do now? Protect someone's feelings? Oh, I can't say that. It might offend you. I don't know what the BBC are doing now.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I literally hear this all the time. You must be one of the lads.
Now that I've had a few minutes to think about it, it's not really something you shouldn't say. If anything, it's actually a bit of a compliment. You fit in with a group that largely dominates a sport. You fit in, you're one of them. One of us, one of us. Would you rather lads was replaced with, I don't know, Borg?
I'm a total lad.
I'm not one of the lads.
What is a lad now?
I just like what I like, I do what I do.
Banter, going to the pub, I do all of that, so maybe I am a lad.
Yep. You basically fit into a profile that normally is associated with lads. Congratulations. Okay, so before they get confused and say, what does it mean to kick like a girl? I'm going to explain what it means to kick like a girl, or throw like a girl. It's down to that basic idea that when you're a child, the father teaches the son how to throw, catch, and kick as a bonding thing, because boys generally like sports more than girls do. Girls don't learn this skill, so when they do it as an adult, they look ridiculous. They either throw the limp wrist and the ball goes nowhere, or when they kick, they punt the ball and it hurts their foot. Now proceed to answer the question and undoubtedly prove me right.
You kick like a girl.
Damn well I do.
Did not expect that answer. I rather enjoy that one.
I've never heard that term like you kick like a woman.
I am a girl. How else will I kick?
What do girls kick like?
I wonder if when the BBC was editing this, they were like, should we leave in the positive answers like, damn right I kick like a girl? Because they've taken it a lot less offensively, which is rather impressive. And again, it's not something you shouldn't say. It's a non-thing, really, isn't it? Please be one of the hot ones.
I knew I was going to get this question.
Are you a lesbian?
Yes I am.
Next. Ooh, something I am somewhat interested in. When I first saw this anyway, I had pondered whether or not people were a bit more perhaps aggressive when on their period. Again though, my curiosity shouldn't be something you shouldn't say to a female football player.
I bet it gets bitchy when you're all on your period.
We don't even play, we just like...
No, just argue
moan
and just
and
like,
argue.
yeah.
I don't think we're all on our period at the same time.
I'd like to make a change to the original statement. It should instead read, I bet you have to wear red shorts when on your period.
You should be giving us credit that we're kind of playing even when we're on our period.
No, we're not going to give you credit, unless the credit is titled Ew Nectar Points. Who says that? Who goes out of their way to approach a professional football player to then say that? And also, how inebriated are they?
You're not a professional though, right?
No, are you?
It's becoming a lot more likely that, you know, if you're playing top flight, you are professional.
It's not actually all about being paid, and it shows that within the women's game, because think about it, the women are getting chicken change basically.
I do think it is disgusting, but at the same time I also think football's not never about money.
You know what you should do? You should go out of your way to track down every single footballer you can see on the screen now and tell them it's not about the money. It's not about the monetary reward for the high skill they possess that means that they are rewarded with such a high salary.
Think about how kick-ass that is, like the fact that they're professional footballers and they hold down another job.
You and I have a very different definition for the word kick-ass.
One, Katie Chapman, 3 children, does a school run in the morning, will play full-time football, probably one of the best around. Look at her, like...
Superwoman.
Yeah.
And we can quite easily offset that with Hope Solo, the domestic abuser, who is lauded as a hero, but still a domestic abuser. Well, it once was, There is a version of it that is a man's-only game, and now there is a women's-only game. Hopefully, the women's game will get as much attention as the men's in the future, and grow and flourish, because I really think it's improving.
I love this one. It's a man's game.
Clearly not. Only idiots say it, and that's still not something you shouldn't say to a female football player.
It's 2017, wake up.
Hold the phones, everyone. It's current year. Best get woke.
But it's not a man's game.
Yes, yes, yes. We've already established this. Thank you, BBC Three, for wasting more of my money, and thank you all for listening.